This is a 48-hour Rome itinerary built specifically for families with children. It covers 2 full days, what to see, in what order, when to go, and what to book in advance. Rome is genuinely well suited to children if the trip is planned correctly. The problem most families run into is either overscheduling, underestimating travel time between sites, or visiting without pre-booked tickets and spending hours in queues. This itinerary is designed to avoid all of that. By the end of this video, you will have a complete, ready-to-use plan for 48 hours in Rome with kids. Rome has a few things going for it that make it more child-friendly than people expect. The main attractions, the Colosseum, the Forum, the Vatican, are all genuinely engaging for children, not just adults. The Colosseum in particular responds well to a kids-specific tour, which reframes the history around gladiators, battles, and daily Roman life in a way that holds attention. Rome's piazzas also work well as practical rest points. Piazza Navona has open space, street performers, and room to move. Circus Maximus is a large green park on the site of the ancient chariot racing track, useful for a mid-afternoon stop when children need to decompress. The food is also a straightforward win. Pizza, pasta, and gelato are all things most children will eat without negotiation, and quality is consistently high, even at mid-range restaurants. A few logistics worth covering before the itinerary. The best months to visit with children are April to June and September to October. Temperatures are manageable, crowds are lower than peak summer, and all attractions are fully operational. July and August are worth avoiding if possible. Temperatures regularly exceed 35 degrees and the main sites are at maximum capacity. If summer is your only option, start every day by 8 a.m. and plan a mid-afternoon break indoors. For your hotel or apartment, the historic center Trastevere or Prati near the Vatican are the most practical bases for this itinerary. Staying within walking distance of the main sites reduces time on public transport significantly, which matters with children. The central sites in this itinerary are all walkable. Rome's cobblestones are rough. If you are traveling with a stroller, bring a carrier as a backup for the older streets. Taxis are reliable and reasonably priced for longer distances. Tickets. Pre-booking is not optional for the Colosseum or the Vatican. Both operate on timed entry, and walk-up queues can exceed 2 hours in peak season. Book both before you travel. Links to family-specific tours for each are in the description. Day 1 is focused on ancient Rome, with a relaxed evening in Trastevere. Arrive at the Colosseum at 8 a.m. This is the least crowded window of the day, and the most comfortable temperature-wise. If you have booked a family or children's tour, your guide will meet you at the entrance. These tours are structured around gladiatorial history and daily Roman life, rather than architecture and dates, which holds children's attention considerably better than a standard adult tour. Tour link is in the description. After the Colosseum, walk directly into the Roman Forum. Your Colosseum ticket covers entry. The Forum is the civic heart of ancient Rome. Temples, government buildings, and triumphal arches spread across a large open site. It can be difficult to contextualize without guidance, so either continue with your tour guide or use a printed scavenger hunt sheet to keep children focused as you walk through. Allow 45 minutes to an hour. For lunch, walk 10 minutes north to the Monti neighborhood. It is a local residential area with a range of trattorias that serve quickly and are well used to families. Avoid the restaurants immediately adjacent to the Forum. Pricing is inflated and quality is inconsistent. The early afternoon is deliberately light. Walk south to Circus Maximus, the site of Rome's ancient chariot racing track, now an open park. It is free, spacious, and useful as a recovery stop before the evening. From there, walk up to the Aventine Hill to see the Knights of Malta keyhole, a small gap in an ornate wooden door that frames a precise view of St. Peter's Dome across the city. It takes 5 minutes, and children tend to find it genuinely surprising. Plan a rest period between 4:30 and 6:30 p.m. Rome in the evening is significantly more enjoyable than Rome in the mid-afternoon heat, and children who have rested will last longer. The evening is in Trastevere, a medieval neighborhood on the west bank of the Tiber. It is largely car-free, well-lit, and lively without being overwhelming. Have dinner outside. The neighborhood has a wide range of restaurants at all price points. After dinner, Piazza di Santa Maria in Trastevere typically has street performers and is a good place to sit for a while before heading back. End at Fior di Luna on Via della Lungarera, which is consistently rated among the best artisan gelaterie in Rome. Day 2 covers the Vatican in the morning and the Historic Center in the afternoon. Arrive at the Vatican museums for an 8:30 a.m. entry. The museums are extensive, over 7 kilometers of galleries, and without a clear route, they are easy to find exhausting. For families, a dedicated children's or family tour is the most practical option. These tours navigate directly to the highlights, provide child-appropriate commentary for the Sistine Chapel, and typically last 2 to 2.5 hours. Without one, the Sistine Chapel is often anticlimactic for children, a crowded room with a ceiling painting that is difficult to see clearly from the floor. With a good guide, it becomes the most discussed part of the trip. Book early. Family tours sell out weeks in advance. Link is in the description. After the Vatican, St. Peter's Basilica is free to enter and worth 20 to 30 minutes. The scale of the interior is immediately apparent even to young children. Skip the dome climb with children under 8. The staircase is narrow, long, and difficult to manage if a child decides halfway up that they want to turn back. For lunch, walk 5 minutes east into the Prati neighborhood rather than eating near the Vatican. It is quieter, less tourist-focused, and the quality-to-price ratio is significantly better. The afternoon is a straightforward walk through the historic center. Start at Piazza Navona. Bernini's Fountain of the Four Rivers is the centerpiece, and the piazza has enough open space for children to move around comfortably. Street portrait artists are common here. A quick sketch takes about 10 minutes and costs around 5 to 10 euros. From Navona, the Pantheon is a 5-minute walk. Free entry with pre-registration. The building dates to 125 AD and is the best preserved ancient structure in Rome. The oculus, the circular opening in the dome, is the detail that children most often remember. Allow 20 minutes. Walk from the Pantheon to Giolitti on Via degli Uffici del Vicario. It has been operating since 1900 and is one of the city's most established gelaterie. The Trevi fountain is a 15-minute walk from Giolitti. Arrive after 4 p.m. Morning crowds are dense and make the visit difficult to enjoy. There is a €2 fee to access the lower level, but you can view the fountain from the upper level for free. End the day at the Vittoriano monument on Piazza Venezia. The terrace at the top is free and provides one of the clearest panoramic views of the city. It is a practical final stop before dinner and requires no advance booking. A few practical notes before you start booking. For a family of 4, 48 hours in Rome, including mid-range accommodation, meals, entry tickets, and 2 guided tours, typically costs between £470 and £1,000. The main variables are accommodation location and whether you opt for private or group tours at the Colosseum and Vatican. Group tours are adequate, private tours offer more flexibility with the pace and are worth considering for children under 6. Footwear is important. Rome's historic center is almost entirely cobbled. Comfortable, well-fitted walking shoes for every member of the family will make a measurable difference to how the days feel by late afternoon. Carry water. Refillable bottles are the practical choice. Rome has over 2,500 public drinking fountains called Navona throughout the city, all of which run cold, clean tap water. Buying bottled water in tourist areas is unnecessary and expensive. The itinerary includes a rest period on both days. This is not optional padding. It is what makes the evening usable. A family that pushes through without a break will typically hit a wall between 5 and 6 p.m. A family that rests for 90 minutes in the afternoon will comfortably last until 9 or 10 p.m. Links to the Colosseum family tour, Vatican family tour, and recommended family hotels in Rome are all in the description below. If you found this itinerary useful, subscribing means you will get the same level of detail for a new destination each week. Next week's video covers 48 hours in Barcelona with kids.